Hey, this is Josh from Josh Builds, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make this crossbow right here. So as you can see, the crossbow is made out of a lot of household materials, just some styrofoam and popsicle sticks that I got from you can get them from coffee shops or a dollar store, and other than that, just elastic bands and straws. So really all household materials and stuff that you can probably get yourself. So to start this build off, we'll first start off by tracing the base on a piece of foam board. And we want to make the base 30 centimeters long by 2.5 centimeters wide. So I'll just go ahead and fast forward through there. And as you can see, we pull the piece of foam board out, and we're going to have to make 2 of these to start off with. And then once you cut your first one out, you can just go ahead and peel off the styrofoam, or not the paper on both sides of the styrofoam, because it makes a mess of things when you're trying to cut it and manipulate it afterwards. So here you can see I have my 2 identical pieces now. And next what I'm going to do is I'm going to need to cut one more smaller one, and it's going to be the same dimensions of the other 2 except 22 centimeters long. 22 centimeters long instead of 30. So I go ahead and cut out another full-size piece, same way as I did before. And this time I'll just cut it. I'll peel the paper off again, and this time we're going to cut it down to 22 centimeters. So now I have my shorter piece, the 2 longer ones, and then the other piece from the 22 centimeter piece that I cut off. So I'll start off by the shorter piece. I'll cut it just a slight angle down like that one there, and then I'll glue it in between or against one of the longer pieces, lining up the edges. And then I go and cut a slight line off the edge right there, and basically we want the straw to be able to rest a little lower. So as you can see, the edge is a little lower in the middle, so you want to cut that down just a little bit, and that's basically so the straw will rest there. And as you can see, when I put the straw there, you can see it kind of rests down a little lower because we cut a bit from the middle. What we have next is we have to drill a hole in the popsicle stick, basically to make a pivot point. But since not everyone has a drill, I'm going to show you how to do it with an X-Acto knife. You just twist it back and forth, and I fast forwarded through it here. And as you can see, the hole is starting to take form, and I go at it from the other side now and just do this little knife drilling technique. And you want to make it big enough so that a toothpick can fit through the middle. Next, I use that back piece just to cut a little square in the back. As you can see, the square in the back there, and the popsicle stick, as you saw there, the toothpick goes right through it. So now I want to find an area where the popsicle stick can pivot back and forth, and the top of it can fully disappear. And that's basically the top of it is going to hold an elastic band, so we need it to fully disappear so that the elastic band will be released. So you can cut a notch out of the styrofoam piece at the back that you see there, if it helps the popsicle stick fully disappear, and experiment there. Now I cut a small notch out of the trigger, and I just pushed the X-Acto knife one way, kind of sawed at it, and then sawed at it the other way to cut out a notch. And then as you can see, it'll fully disappear over the edge right there. And that'll basically release the elastic band when we go to fire the gun. And now I'll take a little piece of popsicle stick again, and just align it on the top like as you see there, and I'll add a dab of glue to attach it on, and that is basically going to hold another elastic band, and you'll see soon when it comes together what that other elastic band does. But just see that there and let it dry. Now I'm going to put the other piece of styrofoam over and glue that in to make that a whole system. And I put the toothpick through, as you can see, and our trigger rotates nicely. So we'll go ahead and glue that in there. Glue the front and the back and squeeze it together and let that dry and make sure it's nice and structurally sound. And as you can see, the notch in the middle there is where the straw will rest. And now what I'm going to do is just add a dab of glue at the front, and I cut off the head of a popsicle stick. I'm going to put that right beside the notch. We still want the notch that we cut there earlier to be showing, but we just want the end of it to be a little wider, and that'll help the elastic band release. So that back part there is going to hold an elastic band that goes to the end of the gun, just so the trigger pulls back when you pull it. And then we can attach an elastic to the front of it to test and hook it right on our hook that we made there. And when you pull it down, the elastic band should release just like that. So next is time to make the front part of the crossbow, and that's going to be out of these thin popsicle sticks. You can get them from the dollar store or a coffee shop. You can use normal popsicle sticks if you want, but the thin ones do look better and they flex more. I mean, you don't need the flex out of them. You can use normal popsicle sticks and get flex out of an elastic band, but those ones look a lot cooler. And just add some glue to the front and position the popsicle sticks there. And those need to be in glue, so be really generous with the glue. And then I'll position the next one. And it's basically two popsicle sticks glued together. And I want to line it up with the previous one, just like that. And hold it there till it dries. So we have to position an elastic band, and I couldn't find one elastic band that was long enough to span that, so I tied two together. Now I just glue a little bit of glue on the or a lot of glue on the end of that, and wrap the elastic band around it, and then pull some tension there as it dries, and that'll just help shape the glue into a form that'll hold it when it's under tension. And then once that dries, you can add a little more glue. And then I just pulled it around to the other side and glued it off on the other side, the same way as I did on the side before. And now you can load up the gun. That elastic band on the back will fall off, so once you find an elastic band that's good, you can just glue it on there so it won't fall off all the time. And then you can load up the elastic band on the front around the trigger, and I'm just finding the center here, just because you can pull it to the side a bit and distort the bow on the front. And to make the ammo, now I get a straw and I just fill it with some hot glue. And filling it with hot glue gives it some weight, so that it'll fly straight instead of curving. And then you can squeeze it. If it's hot, you can use oven mitts, but my glue gun wasn't very hot at the time, so I just squeezed it to make a nice point. And the more glue you put in there, the better your arrow will fly. So now you can load it up, take a nice look at it, and test fire it. And as you can see, it works fairly nicely. And now the last thing I want to do is just add a little bit of glue to the two elastic bands there, because they'll separate and one may fire before the other. So I added just a little bit of hot glue there, and just to hold the two elastic bands together so one elastic band doesn't fire before the other. And now I can load it up once more and take another test fire, and it works very nicely. So that's about it for this tutorial, and you can watch me shoot it some more. Anyways, I'll be coming out with more videos on stuff I build. I've also started coming out with Clash of Clans videos, so you can take a look at that if you'd like. And If you like this, definitely like and subscribe. Check out my other videos. Anyways, that's all for this video, so thanks for watching.